How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we're talking about 4 different cryptos to add to during this bear market. Now, I want to be clear right up front that I've really been focusing on Bitcoin, and I'll be speaking about that in a bit, why I'm really only buying Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency market right now. But I do realize that some people do want to add to other altcoins, and they're willing to wait a very long time, and they don't care if there's extreme volatility. Or maybe they're just looking to get in for the first time and they want to know what good cryptocurrencies are to add to their bag. So I'm going to be talking about a few. Just know I'm only buying Bitcoin right now. I just want to make that very clear. Now, if you guys like this kind of thing, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button underneath the video. If you're looking for a place to start buying these cryptocurrencies, there's a link down there to ftx.us and FTX app. Those are 2 great places to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. FTX is great because they have so many different cryptos in one place for extremely low fees, and they even let you trade NFTs without all those crazy gas fees that can cost right now only $10, but all the way up to hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars when the market gets hot. They're also bringing on stocks here very soon, so you will be able to start buying and selling stocks with stablecoin, which is really cool. So there are links underneath the video. You get free crypto on trades over $10 with those links. A lot of altcoins are now bleeding against Bitcoin. And this is something that I thought would probably happen, and that's why I've been adding to Bitcoin, because of the fact that I figured dominance would move up. We typically see that when we are facing more of a bearish market, and everything bleeds against Bitcoin. Now, it kind of makes sense when there's a lot of capitulation. People are curious what is actually going to do well, and they know Bitcoin has been here for a long time, but they're not sure about some of these other altcoins. They're not sure about some of these other cryptocurrencies, or maybe they invested and they're still up 20, 30x, and they know that Bitcoin's going to fall down less, so they just sell and go into Bitcoin anyways. We also have large institutions that are still willing to hold Bitcoin, but aren't really looking to add much exposure to some of these other cryptocurrencies because they do typically carry a lot more risk. So as this happens, typically we have more of a sell-off in the altcoins, and Bitcoin dominance continues to move up. As you can see, we were as low as about 40% before, and then we're up at about 46% now. We were even higher than that recently. Now, as the market moves up, typically that dominance goes down a bit, and then as the market goes down, dominance goes up. We can see that the global market cap has fallen a lot from its high. It's down to 1.2 trillion after being over 3 trillion. So a lot of cryptocurrencies have fallen down. Now, the first cryptocurrency I think you have to add, of course this isn't financial advice, but people should look at adding, is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, as you can see, is becoming more and more rare. With the Bitcoin having just a few years away too, we know that Bitcoin will get more and more rare moving forward. There's only 2.5 million Bitcoin left on exchanges for people to fight over. And the fact is, so many people have not bought Bitcoin yet. They're going to be fighting over this 2.5 million. Now, of course, some people will sell. It will go back and forth. There's always a price that people will sell at. But the fact is that we still don't have a lot of pension funds getting in. We still don't have a lot of large hedge funds getting in. We still have a lot of retail investors that don't understand it. We still have the fact that we don't have a spot ETF. So it's really hard to buy in retirement accounts. And those are accounts that people just buy and hold for a very long time. And financial advisors are just starting to understand what Bitcoin is and trying to understand where to fit it into people's retirement plans as well. We also have the fact that we haven't gotten regulation here in the US yet, so a lot of people have been hands off. They can't add it to their balance sheets, or at least a lot of large companies don't want to. Some companies will, like Tesla, but for the most part, people are worried about regulation. So all that is happening at the same time that Bitcoin reserves are going down and down and down. All that's going to change over the time. People will get more and more comfortable. We'll get regulation. We'll have it added to a lot of different places. I mean, who wants to hold bonds when they can hold Bitcoin? That's just a fact that a lot of people will start buying Bitcoin over the coming years, and it has staying power. It's been here the longest. It's not going anywhere. It's gone up every single cycle, every few years. If you look historically over 2 years, Bitcoin's price almost always goes up over 2 years. So the fact is, if you bought it recently and you're down, it's still not a bad purchase if you're thinking long term. And the fact is, it will move down less than any other cryptocurrency on this list, most likely, besides stablecoins, if we keep on falling down. But if we move up, it would be the market leader and would probably start pushing up before the other coins come up. We can look at Ethereum for the number 2 cryptocurrency. Ethereum 2.0 is going to come later this year. Now, the reason I haven't been buying a lot of Ethereum is because I think it still will bleed against Bitcoin, but Ethereum has been around for a long time compared to a lot of the other cryptocurrencies, and they continue to innovate. They are really they are the number 1 layer 1, but they are really the second largest cryptocurrency and will probably stay there for a long time. I don't know if they will ever be overtaken unless they eventually overtake Bitcoin, but that's way down the road. So Ethereum 2.0 should come out later this year. We're still expecting that. That will bring them to proof of stake. Now, that won't really help them scale up so much, but it will make them more deflationary. So they are down 63% from their high. Hopefully this turns them around. We know that Ethereum had their EIP 1559 update, which made the price move up very quickly and brought them to all-time highs. After this was implemented, this has reduced their supply by 60% since it was implemented. And the fact is that their 2.0 update will make them even more deflationary. It will actually hopefully make them deflationary overall as a layer 1. So it'll become more and more rare to have Ethereum. So that will be a great upgrade. Now, there might be some interesting price action when that happens because a lot of Ethereum is locked up in Ethereum 2.0 and can't be sold off right now. So about 10% of the supply is held in that, and a lot of people bought when it was back around $100 or $200 and might just be looking to sell when they have access to those funds again. So do not be surprised if there's some interesting price action, either negatively or positively, right around when this happens. Now, this won't actually help them scale up, and as the number 1 layer 1, the fact is that they do need to have faster transactions per second because they're very slow right now and very expensive. That's where Polygon comes in. That's number 3 on our list. Polygon launched recently an uncapped fund to help Terra projects migrate to its blockchain. So Polygon always seems to be in the background making deals, accepting people into their ecosystem. They're going to finance this fund with $450 million Polygon raised previously. They're also going to use their treasury and a $100 million ecosystem fund. And they've already had 50 to 60 different projects start to move over. A lot of people liked Terra for the development and for the ecosystem itself. So a lot of these different projects are trying to get their hands on some of Terra's projects as Terra fell. So this is an interesting point where they might get an extra little boost and have more and more people come to their ecosystem. Now, they're already pretty popular. It's really easy to use Polygon and it's very cheap. It has a lot more transactions per second. It's a great layer 2 for Ethereum. They're also a layer 1. But I think that adding to Polygon through the bear market, if you're looking for projects that are going to stay around over the next few years, Polygon is one of those projects. Now, they have fallen a good amount from their high too. They've fallen about 80% down. So they're definitely at a discount, but they can always fall further. All these cryptos can fall further. Just keep that in mind. And then the last one I want to talk about is Solana. They recently had some news that they actually surpassed Ethereum in 24-hour NFT trading volume. As a layer 1, I think Solana has the best chance at kind of catching up to Ethereum over time. Now, they do have a lot of VC backers, which makes people nervous because they could dump on the market. And Solana is down about 83%. But the fact is that their tech is just so much better. Their transactions per second, their throughput, everything is so much better than the competition that I think Solana will be here for a while. And they're still in beta, right? They're a very young project still. They're pretty well tested, I think. Of course, they do go down every once in a while, but I think that there's definitely a world where Solana stays around. I think they will stay around for years into the future, and I think they will be one of the premier layer 1s out there. At 83% off, I think it would make sense to add. Now, they were just $20 last summer, so a lot of these cryptos are down to the levels they were last summer. Solana is still double what it was last summer, so just keep that in mind. Now, let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Again, I'm really just focusing on Bitcoin, but if you're looking at adding over the coming months, or if you're thinking, hey, we're going to return back to where we were where we were just a few months ago, and we're going to have a quick rebound because of some of the news, like the fact that inflation's actually going down. Well, these are 4 projects that I think you can add and feel pretty comfortable with holding over the long term. Now, of course, any of this can change. The market changes so quickly, so always do your own due diligence. Make sure you're keeping up on it, because I might change my mind, a week from now. There could be some big scandal or some big news that could make me either way more bullish or way more bearish on any of these cryptos. Now, let me know your thoughts underneath the video. Check out FTX, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.